Julia has her leech-powered pen. Well, then nothing can go wrong. Wonderful to see you all. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to another exciting round of what appears to be a monsters expedition. Wonderful to see you. I have a little surprise for you this morning before we get started with hopefully finding our first ever snowman. So this is very, very exciting. Julia and I were investigating an island on our own Apple Arcade game that was an island that we dealt with yesterday and that we couldn't solve. And we did find the solution, and it was really cool. So I hope I can share that with you because it leads to a snowman. It's going to be very exciting. So, indeed the new intro. Yes. So I have a little surprise for you this morning, and it has to do with DAZ Studio. So yes, Max, it's crazy getting morphing an outfit correctly for DAZ characters. It is quite a feat. So yeah, it requires patience most of all. I think that's one thing. So yeah, patience. That is what we need. Mr. Chris, welcome. Wonderful to see you. I've built myself a little scene here that is essentially a single cone over here and a lot of other cones in the background here. They're just instances, and they're just so that I can demonstrate something for one of my Patreon supporters, which is Serge. Hello, Serge. I hope this is going to be helpful. Serge asked me, hey, I want to spot render an image sequence, and I'm not entirely sure how to do it. Somebody suggested I should use an iRay mat for that, but I have no idea what that is, how to set it up, or how it could be useful for spot rendering. And I said, well, I've heard about the iRay mat, but I've never really explained it. So this is that video that explains how to make the iRay mat do something useful, and how we can potentially use it for spot rendering. I don't think it's a good approach. Somebody in the forum thread suggested that, so I thought I'm explaining this for Serge. So but it'll double up as this is the iRay mat video. So right now, if I switch over to the iRay viewport, let's just have a look what this looks like. It's the default HDRI image, and we can see that all my little trees cast shadows on this kind of imaginary plane at the bottom. That's just an iRay feature that I've enabled in the environment options. That's this thing here that's called draw ground. So if I switch that off, the shadows will go away, but if I switch it on, then I can see that all the shadows are drawn. That's just something to keep in mind. So that's really not what the iRay mat is all about. The iRay mat is an advanced property that we can apply to our objects, and that makes it essentially invisible and can hide parts of objects. So let me go and switch this back to filament and bring myself a primitive in. I'm going to use a plane, but you can use anything you like. So you can use a box or whatnot. I'm going to use a plane here with 10 divisions. Divisions don't really matter. And the plane is white. I don't really like white, so I'm going to go and make it dark on the surfaces tab. Doesn't have to be completely black, but kind of a dark gray would be nice. And also, I'm not a big fan of the shininess, the glossiness that is applied by default. So I'm going to just tone that down as well. That's under the base glossy and then glossy roughness. If we crank that up, it just gets, doesn't shine anymore. So right now, if I were to go and render this in iRay now, we have to check this feature in iRay. I don't really see anything special about it. The plane, if I go and lift it up, will cast its own shadow as it intersects with my cone. But other than that, I can see that it now casts a shadow on the imaginary ground plane. And the little cone that's sticking out kind of casts a shadow onto my plane. So watch what happens now as I go and enter my content library and find myself the scripts folder. So this is here my DAZ 3D library. If I go and scroll down, I find my scripts folder, and in the scripts folder there's a utilities folder, and in the utilities folder there's several bits and pieces. One of them is this thing here, the create advanced iRay node properties. So that's something that comes with DAZ Studio. It's kind of, it's built in, and all we need to do really with it is apply it to an object that we want to give these advanced iRay properties to, and that will then create the iRay mat option that we need. So if you double click that, you don't see anything happening in the viewport right now, but with my object selected, I can now go ahead onto the parameters tab and head over to display, and there it is. So under display in rendering, there's a new tab called iRay, and that's where I find my iRay mat. And it's off at the moment. I can also give it a handle. I don't actually know what that is, but you know, luckily we don't need it. If I go and switch this on now, we see nothing happening in the viewport, and that's because this effect is applied to the object kind of let's just say for it to show up, I need to switch this out of the iRay viewport, and then I need to switch it back onto the iRay viewport. That's kind of important, otherwise the effect isn't visible. So now I can see that my plane has a different color. In fact, it's invisible, and it hides anything that's underneath it. So that's kind of the takeaway of it. It hides whatever's underneath it. It mats it off, like in Hollywood filmmaking terms. Whatever was underneath my little cone is still there as I look on it on the side. But if I look through the mat, through the iRay mat, or through the object that now has these advanced iRay properties, things behind it will be hidden. And that can be of use if you want to hide parts of your object that would otherwise be interfering. So I've watched a video by Mech4D, and he's built a nice little scene with it in which he has zombies kind of crawling out of a broken up piece of, you know, earth. And that's kind of nice. So the objects were kind of lying flat on the surface, but he kind of hides it cleverly with objects. So as if it appears these guys are crawling out of a gash in the street, which isn't actually there. So that's how you can use it. So the takeaway is the iRay mat hides whatever's underneath it. So if I go and make this larger now and go and cut some other parts of my objects off here, I can just go and slide that in, and some things will just appear to cut off here. So you can only see it when it's enabled in iRay. So look, some of these cones are now essentially, when I'm looking through it, some of these bottoms of these cones I can't see, whereas here this thing I can still see. The moment I make the plane invisible, all these bottoms will come back, and now as it's there, all these bottoms are kind of cut off. So it's a visual effects trick. It's kind of related to the iRay section plane node, which also hides parts, but as it does so, it will change the lighting of that. So that's kind of how you use it. If you can find uses for it, great. Serge was asking me, can I use it to spot render things in my image sequences if I only have changed a small part of it, and I have something that I want to re-render. I don't want to re-render the whole scene. I just want to spot render that part of multiple image sequence of multiple images in the sequence. And I don't really know if it's going to be useful, but I'll show you anyway how this works, or how this could work potentially. I've tested the render times. They are not faster if you mat something off. So the other thing that you can do with this iRay mat, and this is kind of why I'm showing this. Let me go bring this back to this scale here. You don't have to use the whole object, you can use part of the object. So if I were to go and grab my geometry editor and bring this into wire texture shaded, I can go and select a few polygons here and then just go and remove them. So I can make the geometry visibility, I can hide the selected polygons, and then I have a hole in my iRay section plane. And then of course anything that's in the hole will you can still look through it, and only the pieces that don't have the hole, they won't appear. So if I do this now, as you would imagine, I can literally look through the plane, but everything that is visible will still act as a mat, and anything that isn't visible will not act as a mat. So for Serge's thing about the spot rendering, that means if I had a camera that were to look at my scene like so, say I'll make myself a camera out of that, create new camera with the perspective view, perfect. And then if I were to go and take my mat plane and move that so that it's kind of in front of the camera, something like, wasn't there a rotational thing here like there? And you know, if you were clever, you had created the camera probably slightly differently. Not like me. But just as an example, my tool settings should probably be the local coordinates. There we go. That might make my life a little easier. Yeah, so I wonder what happens if I go and look through my camera, or look through two viewports now, maybe top and bottom. If I use this as whatever the camera sees. I might also go and change my render settings to 16:9, so as if this was a, you know, this was this. So this is what my camera sees. If I go and bring this a little bit closer still to the camera, that the section node only shows, the section node, the iron mat only shows a small part, then you could use this as a spot render. So if you go and parent that plane now to the camera, it's kind of cool because you can use the camera and zoom in, and you'll only ever see a small portion of that image. So, and as a result, if you go and render this now, you basically have a spot render. So that's what the forum post suggests you could do. But of course, the problem with that is that this render will take you just as much time as the render that that would be full size. So iRay doesn't make, it's not an actual spot render, if you know what I mean. It's a post-production effect. In fact, the render with the iRay mat will take you slightly longer than the one that that you use without the iRay mat, because iRay has less processing to do. Anyway, that is how that works, and I thought, you know, I'll share that with you, both the iRay mat and the fact, is it useful for spot rendering? I don't think so, but do play around with it. Maybe it'll be useful. Exactly, it's another DAZ secret that will be unearthed. Yes, I thought I'd share this, and I hope, you know, Serge, I hope this makes sense. And now, of course, let's go get on with our exciting search for the snowman. If we can, you know, if we can find one. So yesterday, this was really exciting. Julia and I play Monsters Expedition on the Apple Arcade, and we have, by sheer accident, by sheer coincidence, come to the same island that we were lurking around on yesterday, that we couldn't quite solve. And it's the one that is kind of fairly long, and we have to put two logs probably on top of one another and then knock over a large tree over to the right hand side. So we couldn't make it work, and we moved on. So, you know, one of those things. Mr. Nate, good to see you. Good morning, sir. Very good to see you. There, we have brought Monster to this little sleepy winter island. We could stay there, or we could go straight for the snowman. I'm not sure. I don't know if we can get back. I'm sure we can. He's sleeping. Aww. Let's go kill some trees. Absolutely. Absolutely, Jeremy. I don't want to wake him up. Do I want to wake him up? I don't want to wake him up. Poor little guy, he's sleeping. Well, let's go do this. Let's go to find our first ever snowman in the game. If I find the way back. It was it here? This was the island right here. This is it. I think this is it. And this here, you can just about see him in the mist of clouds. That is where the snowman is. So let's see if we can make him happen there. How did we go over there? Oh man, I don't remember. Do you remember? We took, oh, I remember now. We took a raft, didn't we? Is this the raft? No, we took a raft back from this island. How do we get on the island? Oh, I'll need to investigate that. Hey, Mr. Neville, how you doing? Oh yes, this is the raft, isn't it? This is the corner raft that we take to get to him. From here, and then we don't do anything there. We go back to here. Now remember, we tried to fix this island a lot, and we couldn't make head or tail of it. And do I remember the solution? The idea was that we would have both of these trees lying down to build a bridge behind the large tree, because right now the large tree can only knock over here, or it can knock over here, but it currently can't knock over to the right, which is exactly where it needs to go to get to the snowman. So let's see if I can remember it. The trick was to make this tree leap over that tree. So we'll do this first. And that's almost groovy, because this tree is essentially the second tree at the back. But the issue was that this tree I can't go behind this tree to push it into the water to build that long bridge. So, uncool. So that was not what I had to do. So the idea then was to make sure to move him out of the way somehow. See if I can remember that. That was a tricky bit. So move that here and then have this guy leap over here. And now we move, I think, this guy out of the way for now. Move this guy over. Is that what we do? Maybe? I can't remember. Maybe this way? Is that what we do? No, that is not what we do. Or maybe it is what we do. Is it this way? And then that way? No. This way? That is not what we do. It's totally stuck already. It had something to do with making sure we don't push this tree in right away. We want to kind of wait with that until we figure out how to put this tree in first, I think. How that happened, I don't remember exactly. But maybe we can figure it out, because, you know, this is how we need to do it. This is totally the trick. And after lots of fiddling, there was much rejoicing. I do remember that. So essentially the other trick is that this guy needs to be here, and then this guy here needs to stand up on this tree. I think the clever bit was that we can essentially make that happen somehow. Like that, right? Yes, this is it. This is it. This guy stands here. Oh my god, I think we have it. This guy stands here. This is the trick that I had to work out. And then when we go and push both of these guys, then they're both lying in a row. And the cool trick now is we can go to the back, knock this guy in the water, put this guy kind of back to here, knock this guy in the water, and we have it! Is this exciting or what? Our first ever snowman! Now we can go behind this guy, go and knock him into the water, and just go see our first ever snowman! Oh, look at him go! It's Plunger Snowman! How exciting! Well, check this out, check this out. This is so cool. You've made a friend! And then he gets arms and everything. This is so cool! And there's about over 50 snowmen in here, and you can hug him, and it's just so cute. That is so exciting. I love it. These little Easter eggs, it was fairly difficult to make this happen. So I'm glad I remembered it. And I'm glad I can share it with you. So cool. Snowman time. Look at that. You have a snowman icon now, Julia. That is so cool. And we have a new exhibit. Fantastic. Unidentified knitted object, is it? This garment, possibly, neatly sidesteps the human design considerations of form and function by having neither a recognizable shape nor a discernible purpose. It was the product of an easily distracted but enthusiastic knitter. Many of them are around. Yes, I wonder if that happens. I think he doesn't melt. I think he'll just stay there. This was exciting. I'm so glad I did this, and I'm so glad I could remember it. Let me see if I can do it one more time, just so that, you know, that we're all on the same page here. This guy goes up. Because what was the fascinating bit now? This goes over here. That's cool. Then we go and move this here, and I think, do we move that guy over here? This is what we do, isn't it? Yeah, that was the clever bit. Then this guy stands up like so, goes 2 paces in here, and then we have these 2 guys standing up in a row like that. Yes, that was the trick. That was the trick. Then you knock them both over, and now we can go over, avoid this rock, and knock this guy into the water, knock this guy back, and then, in fact, just go and go put that over here, put that in the water, walk all the way across that long bridge, knock this into the water, and then see Snowman Plunger Guy. All right. Very cool. Popeye, you have just witnessed us get our first ever snowman in this game, which is so cool. This island here, I do not recall how to solve it though. I think we didn't get to that point in the game. We're more than welcome to give it a go, but currently I don't really know what could be so cool about this. This is never gonna get out of here. Oh yes, do you know, I do remember spending hours on this island and I couldn't make it work. Maybe if I put our collective heads together, we can work it out. Anupam, hello, how you doing? The monster says hello as well. You could barely see him, but he was waving. He was totally waving at you. I'm not sure what to do here. This makes sense, but only up to a point. Had we not pushed the large log so far over there. Currently, I don't even know where we need to go from here. I mean, moving this in. Does that? No, that gets stuck because there's a mushroom in the way, so I can't move it all the way left. So the large tree going this way means we can't push it, so that's no good. Going this way means it'll land in the water, that's also no good. Going this way means it's stuck between the exhibit and a rock, so I'm not sure. I think the most useful thing to do with the log would be to do this, because then at least it means we can push him down as well as into here. So that kind of makes sense to me. If I go and move it to here, we can't get behind the little tree to push that up, so that's also not the solution. But this here might be the solution. I can push the little tree up then. Little tree only goes up or down. Down makes little sense. But over here, that might be groovy, because then this guy can at least stand on here. Having said that, what do we do next? Because this means he's stuck in place. This essentially means he's also stuck in place. So I wonder if we need to apply the thinking we had yesterday about putting something deliberately in the water to then, you know, rescue something else, if we have to do something along those lines. You know, something along the lines of like that or something. There is an end to this game, Popeye, absolutely. The end of this game is when we go and have all the exhibits that are available. So currently we have 301, and there's 301 islands explored. There's 89 exhibits we found, and there's one snowman that we found. The game ends, essentially, there's two endings to the game. The game ends when we bring Monster to the ferry to bring him back home. That's kind of the first ending, but that'll leave about 50% of the game unexplored. So the second ending of the game is if you find every island, every exhibit, and every snowman. At that point, Monster gets a little party hat, and he dances when he goes and hugs the snowman, which is really cool. But yeah, this here isn't the main part, so this just gets to another secret island, and I have no idea how to do it. Do you know that could be a good end? Yes, once you've felled every tree, that would be a good end. I don't know what to do with this island. That sounds like a good beginning, but is it though? It sounds so logical, but is that really what we need to do? Because now this tree is essentially trapped. I also can't move the large log back or use it for tree leaping, so maybe this is not the solution. I don't know. It's a tricky one. Hey Miss Martina, how you doing? Good to see you. Very good to see you all. Have a wonderful Sunday. You say leap logging, Brian. Let's see how we can facilitate that. So I'm still a big fan of having this guy move to the right. I think that's our first move. Then we go do this, and then let's do the leap logging. Let's see where that gets us. So that certainly frees up the little tree. To do what? What do you think is the point here? We go to the bottom island, right? I'm thinking. Could it be as simple as moving this guy over here? Oh, it's the double leap log! Brian, that might make sense. Then we move this guy over here and leap log over here, and then we just go and move this over here, and ha! Mr. Brian! The magic leap logger! Another solution to a critically difficult island. Well done, Brian. Absolutely. Nicely done. And now we're down. Thank you, Julia. Very good. Hey, hey. Awesome stuff. Next challenge, ladies and gentlemen. What do we do now? I suppose we're going to knock a tree into here. Something like that to get to this island. And we have another fast travel point. That sounds good. Sounds to me then as if we need to put one tree down to reach that. They do, don't they? And once they've introduced a mechanic like that, they just, you know, it just keeps coming up and up. So sometimes figuring these things out is a process of elimination. If we needed to have, so there's, I can see two ways here. We can either use both large trees and put them next to one another and build a raft here, not so much for sailing, but it would be a good crossover point. So two logs together, they'll bind together like here in the little log on the left hand side. So we could do that. In that case, they would both be lying horizontally, but the other option would be to have at least one tree go down. And the process of elimination then is this tree, if it were to go down, can't be salvaged. So this is not the tree that goes down. It can only go down, lands in the water, and it can go left. So that might be helpful. I think the other direction isn't helpful. Whereas this tree, he could go down, and potentially that might be the guy that could help us. So right now it'll just go and land this tree in the water. That's not good. That's not good. This means it's going to be stuck. So I suppose what we'll do is get this guy down to about here and to about there, and see if we can knock this tree on it and see what that does. Does that do anything? It does not. So that was not the solution. Damn. What else can we do? Maybe this. Is that cool? Yeah, that is cooler, because we can just go and do that. Being the solution. Look at that. Ha ha ha. Doesn't mean it's the only solution. So some islands are devious enough that they have multiple solutions. Some islands like this one have one single solution, and that's not actually that bad. Look at that. Now here it looks like this is another one of them rafting opportunities. Oh, that was not it. That was not the solution. Is it maybe this? Yes. He sits in the water and wants to dangle his legs. It's so cute. There we go. Raft. Push-off point into the mist to what I like to call Semicolon Island. But the problem here is that we can only move back up, or we can move to the left, which we've already explored that yesterday. But because the tree is still in the way, we can't actually go move away. So I might just go and use that newfangled fast travel opportunity here and see so if we, looks like we're going to reach Semicolon Island from here. Now we have these feet again. That's a clue that this is in fact the way to go. But Semicolon Island, I suppose we have to get there another way to get these trees off, and then potentially this also tells us there's feet, but these feet, they just build a raft and that gets us over to here. So it's kind of, it's the endless cycle now. Interesting. So I don't know if we can explore that right now. I say instead let's go to the winter island that we've arrived at yesterday. you can use the raft from Semicolon Island and you can walk across both rafts. Oh, can I? Okay, let's try that then. Oh no, that wasn't the right island. I meant to go back here. So you say, Julia, I'm just going to go and take the raft onto Semicolon Island, and then I'll go to the right, like so. Righty. So that is that. Now I have 2 rafts. I can go back. Maybe that was indeed what we needed to do. 2 rafts. Yes, I remember there's another snowman that we can reach on this island here below this little mushroom here. And that here blue hat snowman. And that had to do something with the raft from Semicolon Island. So these rafts that we've made here, these 2, I think we need to make them all again and then park them all in a row, push off this mushroom. It's fun! It's so much fun. Wasn't this one that we can also take? Where does that take us? Oh, that takes us all the way up to the Summerland now. That's also not quite the raft I wanted to take, so I'll go back down. I'll go back down. It is, isn't it? And it's just so difficult to figure out all these little puzzles. Somehow they all interconnect. It's also nice to just raft and do nothing. It's quite nice. So how do we get to Semicolon Island then, Julia? What do you think? While we're in this area, being quite attracted to this area, we've made all this here yesterday. That was interesting. This looks like maybe it could get us across there. This here, I don't think we figured this one out, did we? This was difficult as well. But it would get us onto this island and God knows where else. Let's give this one a try, shall we? So it looks like the little tree would just build a bridge over to this side. Or that. Doubt this is gonna... Doubt it could be this. Well, it could be either. It could be that, or it could be this as a large raft together with a little tree, making us a little crossover point. But I don't know. Currently, I find it very difficult to park this tree anywhere. So if I put this left or right, this way it can't be pushed down. So that's probably not the solution. This way could be the solution, but either up or down, this tree gets lost. So that might not be it either. Perhaps then it's down, in fact, and to the left. And I believe we've tried that yesterday many times. I think we can also do the leap logging like so. That'll isolate this tree, which is great. But now what? Is this a matter of leap logging again, maybe? For a second time? So if I move the little tree over to the stump, it'll kind of stay there. Instead, maybe I'll do this. Is that what we want though? Is it? Hey, do you know what? It could be. It could be. Is it this? This could no, because I can't push it down. Otherwise, it'd be in the greatest of positions right now. But I can't push this guy down. That is a shame, isn't it? That is a shame. Any suggestions, guys? Yes, it looks like... Oh, do you know what? It would be great if we could just leap log this tree over to that side as well. Would that be an idea? So rather than... So we could still do that, but instead of just rolling that tree all the way down, how about... We can't do that, can we? Can't do that. Oh, we can do this. We can walk around the tree and do something like that. Is that what we want to do? Is it? I currently can't quite tell yet. This might work. This might work. We do this. That leaves that tree there. I see. The problem is if I do that to make him stop there, that's not gonna... But I could do... yeah, I see. I can't move this tree up now to make him leap log over there. That is the problem, isn't it? Aye. Can you push the small log to the white plinth and then push up and then to the right? Let's try that. Let's go and move this guy back to kind of here. Let's try. So if I do this and then the, oh no, because it doesn't roll into the plinth, sadly. How else could I do this? It's almost like we needed it one part higher than the plinth. So ideally, I'd roll it down one. If I could, can I? I can, can't I? Can I? No, I can't, because this guy isn't going to stop here. It's a tricky one. If I could make this log literally stop here, then I could roll this guy down. He'd be in the perfect position to go. But I can't stop the large log here. I can only stop it here, and that means I can't roll the log into the... Oh! Damn! And if we need the large log behind... Yes, exactly. Yes, that's a problem, isn't it? The only thing I can potentially see here is if I go... I see if I do this, then I can't roll the large log anymore. How about, can we do something like this? That the little log, oh, we tried that yesterday as well, didn't we? That the little log doesn't roll all the way to the black rock, but instead goes and rolls to the log instead. Something like that. We had kind of hoped this would provide us with the solution we needed, but that's the same as doing this, so that didn't do us any favors. Let's start again with fresh eyes. Maybe we can see it today. So I'm still thinking this is the way to go. I mean, maybe that's where I'm already wrong. Maybe I shouldn't be doing that. That's not actually the way I was thinking. This is the way I was thinking. That and then to the left. Because it has the most opportunities to push this guy up or down or back to the left. Sorry, back to the right. Whereas this way, I can't really do anything with it. I can push it down, but I can't move it back. Then also this way, if I go and move it right, there's just nothing that will hold it. This way, I can't push it up or down or left or right. And same with this way. So I still favor the idea of having it, you know, having a go down and then to the left. I think that is the way to go. It's definitely the way to go. But now what? I'm still thinking leap logging is probably the way out. Right, definitely. We did, yes. I'd love to, ideally, Nate, I'd love to have him leap log again. So I would love to try this now that we go and move him basically one position next to this, or basically like here, but one position up, and then have this guy leap log over him again. But it's not working. It's not working. Ooh, I think I've accidentally discovered something. Look, because what happens if I go and push this guy down now? This would be the exact position that we need. If only I can put this guy up on that stump now. And I can't! Damn you! That's a shame, isn't it? Could we then, not giving up here, could we then do this and that? Oh, could this be it? I think this is it. This is it. Kids, this is... No! Damn, this isn't it. Because this guy's now in the correct position. If only the little tree would be on its stump. I can move it to the left, push it down. It would be lying down here. We'd go... Mr. Michael! Good to see you, sir. Unreal Engine 5, huh? Yeah, what are we going to do here? Because we did bring this little log into the position that he was standing up on here, but I forgot how that worked. I suppose if we can make that happen and remind ourselves how we actually got this log into that position, that'd be kind of awesome, wouldn't it? And combine those two things together for the win. So how did I do that then? How did I do that? So these were all the tests that didn't work out. Totally didn't work out. I did this, did I? Okay, that makes sense. And that worked because... Come on, this worked because... It leap locked. That's it, is it? It leap locked over here. That makes kind of sense. And then I did this, I believe. Is that what I did? Was it? No, that's not what I did. We could do this. So now it's also in the right position, but now I can't move it. So, how did we do this now? This guy, so little tree leap locked over here. Gotcha. Then what? Then I did this somehow, right? And then I must have moved him up again like so, I suppose. But it was further up in that position. I think that's how it was, wasn't it? I guess, how is Mr. Michael? Tell us, how is Mr. Michael? Okay, I'll try this again. This way, then that way, and then it's not strictly necessary here. I think we need to... Do I need to do this here, and then over here? I think that was it, right? And then though, that wasn't it though. That wasn't it. It meant this guy can't be knocked over. I think it was something to do with this. And then we do that. That's too far. That's too low, isn't it? That's too low. Because that means I can't push this guy back now. So that can't be the solution either. I wonder if we go and move him onto this position, because we kind of know that's where we need him. Let's go put you here. It's a lot of walking around here, but this is what we need, and then this is this also what we need? Like this and then that, maybe? Yes, that. Okay, great. I remember now. This here, and then though. Yes, and then we just move this guy down, don't we? This is how we do it. I think this is how we do it. Then we do that, move you down, and then you we don't really care about anymore, because then we just go wander over here and we have the solution. There we go. That's how we did it, right? Completely how we did it. Now, can we remember what we did there? I mean, luckily we have it on tape, but It seemed so complicated and convoluted. Easy, yes, absolutely. Can we try it again? I don't want to do it. We can do it. Easy. So this guy down. If I can't make it work, I can always go back these several steps. I think we go and leap lock you over here. And I think the first part of the puzzle was that the little guy needs to be on top of this. Then we go and move this guy over again to put him over here. And then that's basically the solution, isn't it? 2 down, this guy moves down, and then this guy goes and drops onto the next island. Ah, once you've done it, it's actually fairly easy. Knowing how to do that, totally difficult to figure out. Ah, the next island awaits. Oh my. Ah, any ideas? I don't see a simple bridge connection. I see one of those jobs where the large tree is toppled over and then either the first or the second part becomes a raft. You know, the little raft, so that we have one point in which we can board this island and then, you know, do stuff. But where? Could it be another matter of the leap logging? And then what do we do? This is probably too low for this. So could we potentially... I see, this is the problem, isn't it? The moment we put the large tree down here and then over here, then we lose all possibility of moving him further over there. We could maybe, by doing that, we could maybe knock him down one more, but then once again we're kind of we're screwed here because we can't move him to the right now. So that kind of traps him here. So then the other option would be the other direction, but that's not going to stop him anywhere. That's also not going to leap lock our little tree. Then we can do this. But no, actually we can't. This is not the solution because it's not good for... It might be good for leap logging, so it might be good for this. But that would now trap both our large tree and our small tree, so that is also not the solution, I don't think. So then the only other opportunity we have is to push this guy down. But again, this is gonna... This is not... It's not doing anything with the large lock. So far, best solution is to put this guy to the right. There's other options that we can do with a little tree. We don't have to leap lock. We can put it in the water like so. That's a possibility. We could also go and put him to the right. Potentially even... no, not really. I was going to say potentially even putting the little tree over to the further over there, but that's not it either. This is another very tricky one. Any ideas? My money is on either having the large tree somewhere here or beyond that stump, but I have a feeling we're not going to be able to get it there beyond that little stump. I don't think it's gonna work. Small tree down, then right into the water. Nate, very cool. Large tree rolls right up. So like this. Almost. Or you're saying this way, and then no, that's not it, because then it can't be stopped. Then right. Yes. Almost though. I have a feeling something like that. What would happen if we go and leap logged with the little tree? Is that somehow useful? If we go and do something like that, what happens now? Well, at least we have the log, the raft here. As ideally, we'd need that little tree piece on the other side now, don't we? Something like a remote connection. What happens if we go and don't push it in here, but push it in here rather? So the thing is really, we need the large tree to roll off this piece here. How do we make that happen? How do we get a large tree so that it doesn't quite freak out? Kind of like this, but you know, even further. I'm thinking like this. Is that possible without moving the little tree over to the water? Okay, even if we do sacrifice you, little tree. Halfway there. Halfway there. I'll go back a couple of steps to kind of here. I think that might be groovy. Large log needs to go down over one more space, then up into the water. Indeed, yes, that's what I'm thinking. So if we go do this, that would be ideal, but I can't push it now because, you know, them's the rules. Dang! Does not work like... That would be ideal, because then we can use, if we could make that happen somehow, then the large log would be there, the small log could be here, we could have one long bridge, but... Is it not so easy, no? Is there another solution that we've completely overlooking here? I mean, there is, yes, and that is the little tree goes over this way and then over to the large tree. Then we can leap log this guy over here. Is that of any benefit to anyone? No is the answer. I think, unless we want to make a raft into this direction, which, oh, look at that. Could that be the solution? We actually connect to this island. Nah, that isn't it. That would be fun. So just to explore other options here, is there another way that we could make use of all this? I mean, there's this. How about that? That's interesting, because that would technically get us what the Nate suggests and make the long bridge. And that is just much easier than leap logging. Sometimes when it quacks, it is a duck. Nice. That was not so difficult after all. So what we need to do then is go move the little tree over here and then go move it underneath here. Use it as a lever. Nice. And then we go and build, well, that's all, some that way, then that, then that, then that. Long bridge, gotcha. Haha. Sometimes we're overthinking it. I totally agree with that. Sometimes we are overthinking it. It's only because we know all these options now. There's the leap logging, there's the jumping over one tree to get to another while sacrificing it, that sort of thing. It is just so difficult. It is just so difficult. This looks easy. And we're connected, so it's another little loop that we've connected there. Very nice. Very nice. This is probably the island, yeah, we've left here with a raft. Wow. Well, folks, what do you think? Where to next? We could explore the snowy wilderness. That is fairly tricky. I don't think any area is more easy or trickier than others. They just use different dynamics. Like, what's happening here in the middle? How would we... Oh, there's nothing there. Okay, cool. Or maybe there is. We can't tell. Is there something there or not? The moment I zoom in, the clouds go away. So I don't know if there is an island or not. Also, do we know how to get there? We'll leave that for later, shall we? There's this section in the middle here. That looks kind of crazy. Not sure how I could... Well, there's definitely an island here. How we could get there, we don't know. Well, there's this section here. We haven't explored that. There's also... We could follow the feet. Here's some feet. Apparently this is where we need to do something. Or there's also the winter islands that we got to literally yesterday. We found a few bits and pieces here, but I don't know if that was the end of it. Maybe we've explored it all. It looks like there's another island here, but it appears this is something that connects to here when we come from the other island. The unexplored section. So follow the feet, essentially. What are these feet here? Let's see if we can... Yeah, let's do that. Let's stay in mushroom country here. Maybe this is how we get to explore the Semicolon Island next. Aha! I remember an island constellation like that from further up when it was still summer. Do you remember 4 trees, 3 rocks, tiny island, barely room to maneuver? I suppose this goes over here. That gets us access to at least one more island, that's nice. These 2 guys here... I can't even get there. Oh, that's easy. Let's not do this island then. If we can't actually move on there, it's not the island for us. Oh, tricky 1 tree island. The only option we have, I suppose, hopefully is the correct one. Go down and not over here because there's a rock in our way, so that's not it. And the only other option we have... Man, this is mean. Going down, but we can't. Unless we do this. Whew. That was lucky. New exhibit. A leaf. Leaves are business cards for trees. In a way. It's true. That and that's the only move I can make. At least this way I can bring this tree back in case I ever wanted to go back to it. I can go and do this, so that's nice. I do like that. Leaves my options open. Perhaps also this here was not such a bad call to do this first and then use this as a break for... Nah, that's not a good idea. It's a large tree as well. I thought at first it's a small tree. So that really doesn't get us anywhere. This doesn't really get us anywhere either. Huh. Tricky one. Yes, hi, I'm Maple. I'm the big sap and sap derivatives business. My business is in sap. How about you? And acorns. Could this be a leap logging opportunity? It would, yes, actually. I think it might be. by way of doing this first of all, and then this. I'm thinking. No, don't do that just yet. Do that, knocking him in the water, and then perhaps we go and make ourselves a bridge. All right. Ha ha ha! I love it when a plan comes together. And now we're on the other side of this island. Now we can probably, hopefully, fix this. He says, not exactly knowing where to begin. This tree looks ominous because all I can do is this, even though I have a feeling I probably need to go in from the other side, like so, and then I could move it over this way. I'm not sure what I would do with it then, other than make a raft that goes nowhere. I don't really know. I would imagine our destination is this island here. I could do this also. Oh, yes, that could be it. Then we utilize this tree as a bridge, might be, and then this guy could become the little path over there. Mini raft, exactly. Julia, great minds think alike. Look at that. This one was tricky. But it did work. Haha! And then I think this one is probably easy. We just go and turn this into raft paradise and see where it takes us. I'm glad we're spending so much time in this one mushroom area. I really like the look of it, I must say. And could it be that we're getting closer to Semicolon Island somehow? There's a lot of unexplored stuff down here. Looks like we're not exactly getting to that island just yet. Or do we? Check it out. This looks like a build your own push-off point type affair. I think this is the way to do it. Then move this guy over here. Hopefully that'll go and break against that lock. Yes, absolutely. And we go and do that. Ha ha ha! That's clever. That is very clever. One tree island, just move the tree into two push-off positions. Very clever. What we got here? Magic beans! Oh yes, of course. In human legends, the seeds of the giant beanstalk were apparently small enough to fit into a child's palm. In reality, the seeds of giant beanstalks are also giant. These examples measure approximately 2.7 meters in length and can kill if not harvested appropriately. Some magic, that. Now, of course, it begs the question, where do we go next? So if we were to bring a log over here, can you imagine we could move this raft somehow over to this guy and then push off over against somewhere here? And then we could move down. So I see there's big plans for this raft. Will this work though? I mean, considering we have a single tree on this island here, I don't know if that is actually in any shape or form possible. I'm not sure if we can go and move this tree onto the raft now. Oh yeah, we can. So we can do that. And then push the raft to the left. Yes, absolutely. And now though, Break the raft travel in exactly. Oh my, this looks exciting, doesn't it? So I can do that, I can move the raft over and it'll lose that tree into the water. That's probably not it. I can move the raft between here and there. Is there another way to do this? So first of all, this way. That'll move the raft. I think that's good. That's good. Then it explains the size of the island, because now we can go and move around here. Very cool. And do you think we just do this? Ah, can you imagine? Mouse agrees. Getting us further back into the Winter Wonderland. Wow! That is just so cool, isn't it? Ha ha ha! Very cool. More winter. There was much rejoicing, absolutely. Do you know, and I don't know if we've seen this mechanic yet, but we own these islands. This is something new they're introducing here, and I don't think we've seen this before. These rocks here, they look slightly different to the rocks we've met before. And the speciality of them is that when we move a tree over like this, notice the new sound we get here. Interesting. We can move onto not just the tree, but also the rock. So this is new. I don't think we've met this mechanic before. But of course it introduces a lot of other puzzles, because we can't move on top of these rocks unless there's either a stump next to it or we move onto a tree first to do this. So, haha. And new music. Do you know, I don't remember this music. I don't think I've heard this music before. Could it be that we're not in this part of the game? In our main game, Julia? Is that possible? New music with the museum expansion, perhaps? I don't know. Pet for digital assistant. Humans began to worry that their digital assistants might get lonely when not in use, so they developed digital pets to keep them company. These pets were actually just low-level computer viruses that learned to interrupt the assistant at key moments. Precisely. Oh, do you know, speaking of which, I remember, I'm sure we all remember these Tamagotchi type things from back in the day. I don't think I've ever had one, but the sad thing about these Tamagotchis was that they could die if you don't look after them. The thing dies, and often there was no way to reset them, so you basically had a dead thing that you had to throw away, and you got to buy new Tamagotchi, which was weird. So I think some of these you could reset, and then you could just go and, you know, do these things again, which is good. But there's an iOS game that is called, the same composer that made the music for this, Eli Rainsbury, she made the music for that game as well. It was something like My Best Friend, something about a bird, and I'll dig it out. I'll dig out the title. It is a game, an iOS game or an Android game, in which you make friends with a bird in the jungle. You play little games with him, and it's all cute, but eventually the bird dies. And I think there was much outrage because that wasn't mentioned on the sales description page, and people have gone into real depression because they formed a relationship with the app. So it's not a Tamagotchi anymore, it's now an app. And I think that's what I found very exciting, that people, the relationship we forge now with things like this. So I find myself forging a relationship with a monster. And maybe that's dangerous, I don't know. Maybe it's also a sign of our times. But I find that curious how we do this, because this is like, I think, the first steps into humans forming a relationship with programs, that, you know, the programs kind of tap into what we can forge relationships with. So yes. Did you ever have a Tamagotchi, Nate? And did yours die? It's a trap. I find it's dangerous because it could be the first way into humans not being able to distinguish what's a real relationship and what's a relationship that was meant to be forged by way of a developer, you know, into an AI type thing. So that is what I find. That's what I find dangerous. Do you know, and then what we're going to do? What happens if the monster gets killed? I'd be sad. I'd get over it, but, you know, that on a much higher level, I can see people getting really obsessed when something, you know, changes. The first, I suppose the first, what's the word? The first step to this is when your favorite TV show changes the theme tune. When that happens, you get really upset. Or when they remove characters without writing them out. You know, that's a real break, and people have real issues with that. And I think that's the first step. And the second step is now us forging relationships with game characters that are quite clearly a program. Something goes wrong with the program, our life falls apart. Shouldn't happen that way. But hey, one of those things. It's another stream story, this. I don't either, Nate. I don't remember having a Tamagotchi myself either. I remember the craze coming up, and I just thought, I don't have time for it. Also, it wasn't very exciting. It was just, you know, beeping randomly. And I thought, yeah, it's not my cup of tea. There's also these, for people who want to have kids, they have these kind of training dolls that wake them up at odd hours, and every hour and a half for something, and they have to go and look after the doll in, you know, just to check out, am I fit for parenthood? No one ever is, of course. But yeah, if that doll helps you. So here, this is that mechanic. I have to push this tree over just to get on the other side of the island. Once I'm here, I can't get back. One-way street. So, you know, careful with that. Difficult. Roberta is needy enough, absolutely. Quite rightly so. I mean, she's part of the family. She's not a Tamagotchi. She's much more than that. She's alive. She has a right to be needy. Computers, needy for updates, needy for me pushing buttons. I'm not so sure. Should it be that way? Yes, just you remember, computer, who's in charge here. But then that's also a very mean way of looking at it, isn't it? Because computers do so much for us. Why wouldn't we want to look after them? So I see my computers as, you know, needy things that need attention, but I'm kind of happy to give it to them to a point when it's, you know, when it's a hardware issue and they need something in that department, happy about that. If it's software demanding attention, I think that's where I kind of draw the line, because I'm thinking hardware, I understand that breaks down at one point, but software needing an update, needing me to do something, and software destroying something that I rely on, that's a difficult one. So yeah, I find that a bit, you know, we gotta look after that. We're not being rationalized out of this whole equation here, I think. Man, was this the right thing to do on these islands here? I would imagine. I think this gets us back up so that we can explore the second path of this island. Poop machine. Very funny. Do you know, yes, Nate, and I totally agree with that as well, but that's a story that's being told. So that's something, I find that's something different. If a movie makes you cry, if the ending of a video game makes you cry, that's part of the storytelling process. But if the storytelling goes into this realm that it goes and craves more attention that you had signed up for, that's a bit of a tricky one. Video games are bad enough in that you don't know how much time you're signing up for in the first place. A movie, you say 2 hours, I've got that time, tell me a story, I'll have popcorn, and you know, I get emotionally moved. It's kind of a contractual agreement we enter into, and you know, if we like the movie, awesome. If not, well, not so awesome, but you know, it's a contract kind of that way. But if you start playing a video game, you don't know, am I signing up for a 10-hour, 50-hour, 100-hour affair? Am I signing up for something that's going to derail my life emotionally? It's tricky, isn't it? So it's difficult. We don't have those foundations yet around video games. Curious, isn't it? But how it changes over time. I find that fascinating. And also how important video games have become as a form of entertainment for us. And look at the whole streaming market. That's kind of crazy. Not so much this stream, but you know, others who go and just play games, and it's entertainment for other people. So it's now at a point, I said this to my friend, video games these days are sometimes so complicated that it's difficult for people to play them themselves, but it's nice to watch other people play them because you might not have the time. So I might not have the time to play Grand Theft Auto 5 for 400 hours to get the most out of it, but I do have the time to watch a streamer do this for an hour and a half. So that's kind of, it's nice that we have both these things now. All right. Oh no, look at that. Yes, it is. It's the same mechanic, isn't it? Is it one of those farm games? Was that one of those? Yeah, you see, I don't know what to do here. We could do this. Oh yeah, look at that. This is the way to do it, isn't it? We do that, and now we need to push this tree from the back. This is how we do it. Right, okay. Island 318-1005. So the trick here is to push this guy on top of the rock, seemingly for no reason. But it becomes clear when we go and push this tree to the left. I think I've got it. This is the way to do it. He's now in the way. I can't go behind it unless I go on top of the rock and then go make myself that bridge over to Southland. All right. Right, you know, I think this may have been due to during the time when there was a massive craze on Facebook gaming, not Facebook gaming, like all the apps like the Farmville and all those types of games. There was a huge craze. Zynga kind of was heavily involved in that, and the guys who made Candy Crush. That was kind of, I remember my colleague was playing Candy Crush, and he did the most amazing high scores, and very cool that you could put your latest game and share it on your Facebook page, and everyone would just go and join in and say, oh my god, he did how many points and how many seconds. It was amazing. Richard, congrats, by the way. He retired from that at one point, and I think that whole bubble burst when the mobile games came out. So then all these kind of Zynga type developers and what are they called, Soda Pop, was that it? The guys who make those types of games, they moved on to native iOS and Android apps, and then that whole Facebook gaming, the whole Facebook games bubble kind of burst. Yeah, but it was huge at one point, I remember. Absolutely. Hey Sydney, join us in the winter. Also join us for toddler weaponry. A beautifully designed weapon. Its ability to inflict pain increases with the height and weight of the human subject who steps on it. Unripe humans, toddlers, can waddle over them quite happily, while an adult in hot pursuit carrying a bath towel will be incapacitated. Yes, absolutely. I have a whole box full of those. In fact, I've got to show you this. Julia's built something really cool from this whole box. She built a little pirate ship. I don't know if you've seen this, but yeah, this is Julia's little pirate ship. She built this when we had that season pass on DAZ. Isn't this cute? Absolutely groovy here. This is a female pirate with a parrot. It's got cannons on the outside. It's got a sail, got a wafty non-defrost flag. It's super nice, isn't it? Yeah, a few years ago, after I had cancer, I came up with all these childhood memories. I don't know what happened there, but my body had a real need and real urge to go back to the safer, happier times back in the days. And so I bought myself a massive box of Legos, and this is kind of it's on the cupboard. It's like salty licorice and C64 computers. There was this real need for me to go back to these times and re-experience these things, quite interestingly. And yeah, so Julia's built this from that big box of Lego. So cute, isn't it? Very, very cool. Very nice. I like having it here as a little mascot. Oh dear. What we're going to do here, this is really the only thing that we can do. This and that. Oh yes. And you'd think it's easy, but it's not, because when we do that, nothing happens. So I suppose, do we have to do this again? Can we do this again? We cannot. Oh, single tree island. Why must you be so cruel? What can we do here? You see, one dead giveaway that there's something up with this island is that there's this massive space at the end, and it wouldn't be here if it wasn't necessary. So I suppose us just doing this, finding it's not quite right for what we need, probably means we have to utilize it in some shape or form. So perhaps we're going to do I don't know, something, not that. maybe that. No, not that. But there's something going on here. This is why we need it. Let's see. So the most immediate thing is, I suppose, this, to break that fall. Then do we go back right away and do something here? I don't think we can. But then if we go and do this here, go and do this again, and that might not be it either, because we can't go back behind that. No, we can. Oh, we can. It's the rock mechanic again, isn't it? You do this, ha ha ha, and then do we do that? Yes, that is what we do. It's that rock mechanic again. They introduce it, you forget about it. Crazy. Mustn't forget the rock thing. Like here or here. Yes, once again, the rock thing. But now what? Because I suppose we want to build that bridge here. How do we? How do we then? Do we do this? Oh, I think we do. We do this, right? Do we? And then we do kind of this. Is not what we do. Damn you, tree / rock. You can also put these guys on top of rocks, which is crazy. But you can do it. Yeah, did we do this? Yes, this is what we do, isn't it? And then we do that. Let's see if we can do it again. Raft, clever idea, but on a single tree island, difficult to achieve. You mean probably in the other direction, right? Possible. Here, this is that new mechanic that we have now. Being able to move on top of trees. So this is almost there, but we need to go and do this in the other direction as well. Still? Do we? How did I do this now? Oh my. Yes, like that, indeed. Ah. Ah. Bob Ross would approve. I like it. Do you know, I got that comment as well. I was playing on the London Tube. I was playing with Rubik's Cube. I don't think it was the original one. It was one of those derivatives of it, like, I don't know, a dodecahedron type thing. And I was playing with it, and it just makes the time just whiz away. And this older lady was watching me intently, and just before she got off, she passed me by and said, "This is a toy for children, you know that, right?" And I said, "If this is for children, try to give me the solution to this." So we had a little banter about this. But it was interesting. Yeah, it's I love it when things work for both kids as well as grown-ups, and it just, the same thing caters to both audiences. That's just so cool. And I think Legos and you know, Yogi Bears are just right up in that category there. Like Disney movies as well. Very clever. Yeah, I remember. And I remember just her fascinated face, because she had a lot of fun watching me, and I saw that, and for 10 or 15 minutes she was watching, and I thought, yeah, it's one of those Ulrich Meffert type puzzles. Kind of an expert in puzzles, apparently. What do we do here? Oh, this looks just like a rafting opportunity, does it not? We do that, and then it's tempting to do this, but of course that is not the solution. So what do we do then? We could do this. And then, oh yes, then we do this. Oh, look at that. Ha. Sometimes it's easy, isn't it? If you know how. Now, do we want to take this raft, or do we want to try and go back and do that other section of the island before we do that? I don't want to leave too hastily. I mean, it's good to know that this is here, but I have a feeling there's another direction that we could have taken. Not so much this. I mean, there's also this island we can explore. It's totally winter time here. My goodness. We've explored quite a large area. Yeah, I was thinking more this part of the island. Maybe I thought this would link up at one point. I guess I was wrong. I also don't quite know what to do here. Oh, this might link up to this island. Maybe. All I know is that there's more to do here, so let's not forget it. Tell you what, let's take the raft, because I'm kind of keen to see what happens at the end of it. And there's this tree as well. There's more unexplored things here in Winter Wonderland. And we have time. Oh, it's a chilled out Sunday. Let's just play this game for like hours. I say this way, right? And there's the unused tree. Exactly what we're going to do with that. There's an app for that. My goodness. That's hardly the point, is it? I do have that app, actually. It's called Cube Snap. And you take pictures of your unsolved cube. You tell it what cube you have. You take pictures of the unsolved cube. And it works out the steps you have to take, and it literally goes and says, yeah, now turn it up and then move the right side up and down. It's crazy. There's an app for that. What is the point in that? But yes, I do have that app, because sometimes you get into this point where you just can't solve the cube, and ouch. People who take their cubes apart, by the way, and put them back together should be aware that if you do it wrong, the cube becomes unsolvable. So you just don't just put it together any which way. If you have all the scrambled pieces and you put it together and then you try and solve it, you might end up with an unsolvable cube. That is tricky. That is tricky. I actually have most of the Rubik's Cubes. I've got the 2x2, the 3x3, 4x4, 5x5. That is a monster, I tell you that. There's some other home printed cubes. People have made like 12x12 type cubes, and they're massive and super heavy, and they cost like $2,000 to print in pieces. You can probably get that from Thingiverse, Brian, if ever you wanted to have a 12x12 Rubik's Cube. It's quite an interesting mechanic going on there. They all revolve around a ball on the inside. Those are really difficult. I can't solve those. I can barely solve the 3x3. And there are people who can speed solve these things, which is just hilarious to watch. I think the world record to solve a cube, I mean, they're specially lubricated type cubes. The world record is under 10 seconds. So they literally just go, they look at it, know exactly which move they need to make, and they just go ding, and then it's solved. It's unbelievable. It's so crazy. What? Juicero? Yes, me too, Brian. Me too. A 5x5 is kind of where I draw the line. That already is so big and heavy, it's very difficult to move. But it is fun. Once you screw it up, though, that's it. I mean, it'll take you years to figure that out. Oh, I see. This was the route now, was it? This was just to get myself an overview here. This was the raft journey we've taken from over here to down here. So these are two wintry areas. I had no idea. We did all that on the right, and there's more to do there. And now we're on this wintry island, so this is not connected. Interesting. That's how far that is away. Ha! So crazy. That, you know, that's another form of entertainment that we didn't know existed up until 3 years ago. The teardown, right? Isn't that amazing? The teardown is now a thing. People are more interested in a new YouTube, in a new iPhone being torn down and taken apart irreparably than in the iPhone itself. Very cool. Another thing, very interesting social phenomenon, putting brand new items that cost an arm and a leg and are difficult to get hold of, and putting them in a blender or in a microwave. Interesting, isn't it? But yeah, that is now the entertainment that gets more attention than the device themselves. Or is it all part of a deliberate ploy to build hype for such things? Answers on a postcard. I don't exactly know what to do here. This, we could do that. We could then also kind of do that. But we would be no further than we were before. I suppose we could do that. But then what do we do? Then, oh, do we do something like that? And then that? Yeah, almost. Because then what are we going to do? That is no good either. How funny, isn't it, that those brain just goes, yeah, I've done it. I'm going to remove how it worked. It's a bit like with this game. You know you solved an island before. You come back to this island, the same island, a week later, and you have no idea how to do it. And you think, but brain, didn't you save this as something you could retrieve at a later date? Oh, my goodness. Crazy stuff. You sent a link about something you've made in DAZ Studio? I can't see the link, I'm afraid. But if you're on Twitter and you tweet it to me, you can totally you can send it to me via Twitter if you like. I think if you type !socials, you get an option to you get my Twitter address. Yes, exactly. How do we solve this island, guys? How are we going to do that? The only two things I can do with this large tree, really, is to go over here and to go over here. I think neither of which really brings us all that far. I also can't really do anything with the little tree unless I do something with the large tree first. So that's an interesting conundrum. Little tree only goes down and to the side. Does that make sense? I think the most sense we got out of this was to do this. No, wasn't, was it? Yes, this, and then do something with the little tree. But it doesn't really... Like, there's something missing from this island. And I don't think... Is there something we're not seeing? Is there something else we need to do with this island first? Because, you know, this is such a cute little island. This is now the tough part in Winter Wonderland here. Do we need to solve this when we come in from the other direction? Would it make more sense to do that? I mean, I don't know where to go from here. I thought this would be maybe opening up the top direction. Oh, Nate, wait. Large tree goes over here. We then go and knock little tree up. How about that? And now what are we going to do? Nothing! Okay, Nate, I'm all ears, I'm all ears. Big tree to the right, stand on it. Oh my god, is that what you just said? Big tree to the right, stand on it, push little tree up. That's just what you said! Oh man, Nate! I totally didn't see that. See, brain just didn't click. Dang you! Yes, and now we're kind of stuck. Because really, what we need now is for the large tree to, you know, be in the other direction. How can we bring it back? Because now I'd like for the large tree to be here and for the little tree to roll against it. But then I need to have the large tree... Oh, no, this is difficult. So we could do this. Will that help in any shape or form? And leap tree! Ah! We've forgotten the leap tree agenda again. Having said that, kind of stuck now. Oh, no. I know. Now we build bridge with large tree and we go over. Ah, look at that. It's massive, man. Let's try it again. This was great. So large tree goes... How do we do it now? I forgot. My God. We do large tree over here. Then we do large tree over here. Then we go leap log. Awesome stuff. Then we go push large tree down here. Put little tree up to next island. Oh. Ah. How exciting. I like this island. That's much easier. So monster, what do we have here? A squirrel holding a hot dog and an emoji with a broken heart. It's the advanced emoji, of course. Before emoji became its own distinct language, humans would use little yellow faces to express emotions alongside written words. And it works rather well, does it not? These could convey surprisingly subtle or complex emotions. This example shows the feeling of being angry with a friend in real life for something they did in a dream. Oh, I see. That's what that means. Which of these emojis describes the dream? Is it the squirrel with the hot dog? Brian, exactly. Brian, that is so funny. Oops. Oh, see, I've reset this island. What a shame. Oh, there, I can bring it back. That's cool. How exciting. I'm glad that we're all completely struggling to make head or tail of this. But this is also what makes this game so magical, I think, that we can look at a simple island like this and you either see it immediately or you say, sorry, I have no idea. There's a lot of play value in this. Because, you know, next week we play exactly the same game again and I've forgotten all the solutions. Which is why I'm making clips on my J Plays channel of all the complicated islands. I'm putting them all into one playlist and the title has essentially the island in there. So when we are stuck, any of us replaying this game, when we're stuck on island 2670345, we can look for that on Google or on J Plays and then it'll go and show you this. That's the point. That's the plan. I hope we can remember that some of these clips are on there then. It's a ton of work, but I thought, you know, this is really, it makes a lot of sense because once we've figured something out as a group, it'd be good to have a record of that. Short, concise, kind of little record. Hot dog, broken heart, and dreamy eyes. Very good. And the squirrel. Is there a squirrel symbol? Someone is heartbroken about a squirrel stealing their hot dog and now they're dizzy from not being able to eat. That is what it is. Maybe they've got this condition called honk. Could be. Serious condition apparently. That people who are pre-diabetic can sometimes develop, that their blood sugar level kind of skyrockets and they pass out. Or something. I've just heard about this from watching Wallander on BritBox. Hey, this was supposed to be a large tree. What do we do with this? That's not the bridge we had hoped for. Oh, look at that. There's kind of a giraffe sticking their head out. That's exciting too. So, my friends, what do we do here? Is it actually a good idea to put the large tree up and then further to the right? Or is it not? I mean, the thing about two little trees being close together is this looks like it could be a bridge of some description. Makes us move this down, and we could do that. This guy would be trapped, or we can roll it over here. That's a cool idea. Roll it over here, maybe have it broken by the large tree somehow. Might be. Or it just knocks the large tree over. So interesting things. Could be raft. Large log sticking out and the raft going to the right hand side. Possible. It could be an island with two solutions. Very possible. So if I go and do this and move this guy over kind of here. try to get this over and then go and move that. Then, this because raft in the wrong position. Could also be that this tree goes up and we don't really mind if it goes and gets stuck behind here, because we're clever enough to make to take the little tree, roll it over, make a raft over there. That's possible. But then what breaks it on the other side? Or is it one of those that we don't break? Could go over here. And then what? No! Damn you! Could be we use this as a bridge. But no, we can't. We can't push that in. Ay, caramba. I don't like two little trees together. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. You're thinking the raft would be built here, and then we raft up. Possible. That sounds like a crazy solution, but yeah, that would be possible. Don't know how to knock over the top tree here, because I can only do that when he doesn't have snow on him anymore. Leap lock both logs over it. Oh, that's an interesting one. So you're saying this way, then that way, then this way. Leap both logs over it, like 1 and 2. Whoa, interesting. Do you know that is the solution? Then we do that, then we do this, and then we need the large log, don't we? If only we could now take the large log and move it up. That would be the solution. But alas, we cannot do it. I think we've got something there though, because that is something I can see working. Maybe we can use one of these trees once leapt over as a secondary, secondary little guy. There's mileage in this, boys and girls. There's mileage in this. We do this. We are undeterred, and we do also this. And I think we do that, which is awesome. I think we're going to go and push this into the water first. I think we have something here. Then we do this, and so all we need to do now is have this guy be in that place. So that'll take care of the little raft and this thing here. So to complete our journey, I wonder if we just move this guy down. Could it be? And then we just go casually put this guy over here, building ourselves a double raft. Wow. That was tricky. Thank you so much, collective brain. This is the spirit. That is cool, isn't it? We have 2 rafts. Unbelievable. But did either of us see this as a solution? Crazy. 2 rafts in a row? I don't think anyone saw that coming. Wow. So funny. And just when you thought, oh, wow, I've solved the puzzle, I can chill out now. No, you're on the next island that looks just as complicated. Here, I don't even know where we need to go. This could be a raft. Raft and then raft up. He says not exactly sure how it would... Oh, look at that. Yes, like this. That's one part of the raft. Second part of the raft is not so easy. Because you do that, you're screwed. You do that, you're semi-screwed. You think you're in the clear, but no, you're actually screwed. And then you do that, and you're also screwed. So, clever. It looks just so super simple. It didn't actually look simple at all. It's when you try it, you think, oh, yes, yes, yeah, no. Oh. It's like Homer Simpson. I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it. Oh, no. Oh, maybe, maybe. Oh! Could it be? Oh, we do the same move again. That's clever. That is seriously clever. Mine too. My brain hurts as well. We have 2 push-off points now. If only we could go to the right, but we can also try the top. Going to another creepy rock menacing island. Sometimes when we play this on the Apple Arcade, we wish there's a way to record what we're doing. At least with this, even if we find a solution and we don't remember how to do it, at least we can rewind here and remind ourselves of how this is made. What are we thinking here? This would just be the ideal stick that would get us to the top. How is bottom stick involved in this madness? Would I can do that, but I can't do that. This, in case we ever needed to go back to the other island, that might be helpful. No, it's not. Forget about it. That's true. You could screen record the iPhone and the iPad. I think in iOS 15 there's a way that they're building in recordings of... Oh yeah, actually you can screen record it already, can't you? But I don't know if the Apple TV has that built in. We use a PlayStation controller on the Apple TV to make that happen. But yes, that is good point, Nate. You can just screen record it. If you have enough space, it'll be good. I could maybe rejig something that lets us... Like, I've got a kind of a standalone HDMI recording device that might come in handy for that. And wire that up to the Apple TV somehow. The trouble is that they are, of course, encrypting the output of the Apple TV, so I have to have a splitter to make that happen, but it's something. Something to think about. Because it's a little box that I bought a few years ago. It records onto SD cards or USB sticks, and it really doesn't do much. It has HDMI in and one button that says stop at start record. And whatever comes in, it gets recorded. If it's 720, 60, it records that. If it's 1080p, it'll record that in 30 frames. But it needs to be clear signal, otherwise it won't do it. And it has nothing else. Also, sometimes recordings don't work, but it's something you could just stick on, press record, and then it just captures whatever you're doing. Worth a thought to put that back into action. What do we do here? Process of elimination. Bottom tree down gives us nothing. Bottom tree to the left gives us nothing. Bottom tree to the right gives us something. And bottom tree to the top is also a very good contender. Top tree to the left, to the right, and up or down might work. Top tree to the top might also work. So various possibilities there. Top tree to the left and down might work, but then how do we go behind it? Could leap lock, but then also that would just get that other tree stuck, so not sure. And then that tree down, also a possibility. So many possibilities. Which one do we choose? Man, this is not one of them. Anything jumping out at you there? Kind of in favor of doing the opposite of what's logical. So we want to go up, great. Push the tree down, see what happens. But that is also, could we leap log? We could not, because the moment that tree is up there, I can't go behind it. That would be interesting. Same the other way around, isn't it? If we go and put that up somehow, we could... That's just not working here. Large raft by the rock. And then push ourselves like here, and then push ourselves up. Nate, that could be the ticket. Didn't think of a raft. Let's try to make it happen. Maybe with the top tree first. So since when we wanted to do that, would the raft be tall or wide? Another thing to consider. I think this might work if it was horizontal. Horizontal raft. We do this, don't we? That's part 1 of horizontal raft done. That is part 2 of the raft done. Nate, that's the way to go. Both trees. Oh, sorry, Julia. Sorry, I thought it was Nate. You all have the same color. There we go. Yes, that is the way to go. Well done. Awesome. So it's just a simple raft. Sometimes that is all you need to know. If you're looking for a solution and you don't see it, like this one, if I look at that being a bridge at the top, that's just not the solution. It's a raft. Going back and forth. Thank you so much, guys. Followed by what? Oh, another raft going up from the little rock in the corner. See, Sid, you made the same mistake as I did. It was Julia, actually, not Nate. Not that we're not all working together and all. Another raft. Yes, let's try that. Let's try that. How though, Brian? How are we going to do it? This going to the right is going to get us anywhere. This going to the left, on the other hand, might work better. Even though... Oh yeah, look, I can use this raft to then do this. Oh, look at that! Perfect! So that is certainly part 1 of the raft done. It looks like maybe we need to do it in a different order. But also, now what do we do? Do we do this again? I think so. Is that how we do this? Yes, look at that. And basically the same thing again. It's just a different order. Or is it... No, it's the same. It's the correct order, isn't it? Yes. Correct order! Look at that! Oh, but yes, it does tire out the brain. Where are we now? How many islands do we have? Is there another snowman to be discovered? They're all hiding in here. There's so much under cloud cover still. But look at how much we've also opened up already. This whole winter area, this is all from today, really. Whoop, frame rate, hello. People have stitched these maps together and you can download them. I don't know if that helps better plan how you approach what from where. Might be a market in that. Where's the monster? Monster is here. Alright, so with our raft, we're going to go up, it appears. Somewhere into the great unknown. Boy, I can't wait. Let's do this. And also, let's not forget, there's more winter islands to be checked out. Let's see where this goes first. Maybe if this goes into a different biome. Yes, it looks like it. You can just about see the color changing. There, we're back in Autumn World. I wonder if we're just going to leave that for next time and go back and explore some more of the winter islands that we've come across before here. See if I can teleport back. Like here, look at all this. Looks like there's more treasures hidden. And here. If you're up for playing a little bit more, I am. While we're in the winter spirit, you know, while we're in this mindset, you don't know when that mindset comes back. It might not come back. Well, the obvious solution would be to go over to the right island, right? How difficult can it be? Got three trees to choose from. This looks easy, unless of course when you get to this stage where you say, well, how are we going to stop this tree at this position? Because there's really not much we can do now. There's no leap logging opportunity. And this guy is quite firmly in the way here, isn't he? If we do that, we can certainly not push him further. We could do this and then move this tree down, but of course that's not really what we want. If in fact that is the solution, I mean, it seems so obvious. Put the large log over here, but therein lies the challenge. It is, isn't it, Brian? It does start to feel like work. What's the secret behind these two trees? I don't like it when they're in these awkward positions where they're basically just, you know, sacrificial lambs, both of them. I suppose this guy's probably just to connect us to over here. See, my instinct tells me we should just leap log this tree over here, but we can't. How do we get any of the little trees to the bottom? It's a ruse, isn't it? The ruse is this tree is not the one that'll make the bridge. The more logical solution is that it may make part of the bridge, but that another tree would go roll, but maybe even both little trees would go roll over to the end and build a raft at the end, maybe. And the large tree is here to facilitate that in some shape or form. So let's try moving it up and see what that does. Where that gets us. Gets us nowhere. How exciting. I wonder if we just use this guy as the person in the middle between both of these trees. I mean, who knows? Maybe we'll just go and leap log this guy over here. I don't know. Does that do something? Something for anyone? Yes! It makes a raft in the corner with the large tree being the push-off point. It's a complete ruse. It was never meant to be a bridge, but it certainly looked like it was going to become one. Oh, clever, Alan. Very clever. Oh, wow. What is this? It has teeth in a round row and everything. It doesn't look... Monument to leeches. Inscription reads, leeches. Is there anything they can't do? Sneaky. Sneaky. Very sneaky. But we made it. Isn't that amazing? By thinking outside the box. How's this for a challenge? This is a large tree, right? Yes, this is a large tree. This is a little tree. Little tree that currently looks like it ain't doing nothing to nobody. And it looks like this could be a little bridge up here, or there's some kind of bridge that goes with the large log and the small log together. I don't know. If we do this, there's no way to push this tree down, so I think up is out of the question. We could do this and then leap log the little tree over it. That's a possibility. But the trouble with that is that I can't go behind the large tree now, so that might not be the solution either. So then I think we can rule out it going to the right. perhaps it going down, maybe. I think so too. I think there will be leap logging. But the issue I have is that we can't do it just yet. There's got to be, maybe, before we do that, maybe we need to go move this guy over here. Could that be it? Move this over here. Is that helpful for anybody? This maybe, is that helpful? Or maybe even this? Could that be helpful? I gotta be brutally honest and say the answer is no, isn't it? The answer is definitely no. So then, can we move this guy over here? Somehow move it one further, because that's really what we want to do, isn't it? We want to leap log the little tree over this guy. And it's a pity that that can't be done, Mr. Bond. Move the little tree to the left of the big one, then leap log the big tree into the water. Ah. Let me see if I understand this correctly. The little tree to the left. That's a wild idea. I like that already. That's very cool. And then we move the big one, also goes to the left. Horizontal or vertical, Brian? Because could it be like this? No, that's not it. Could be down and then left. Move it to the left of the big tree. Ah, okay. So move this tree to the left of the big tree. I don't know how. Oh, I see. You mean. Oh, I see. You mean put this guy over here, but then I can't go there. Even though there may be a possibility. No, I can't. I just can't go there. Yeah, I just can't go behind the little tree to make that happen now. If I go and do this the other way, like so, that also doesn't work because I can't push it down then. So maybe if I do put it... Yeah, I know. Oh, look at that. This is another way to do it now that I'm thinking about it. Inspired by your idea, Brian. This would certainly free up little tree. Not that it doesn't really let us go behind it now to push it, because that'd be good if we'd somehow have I go behind it now, maybe. Could we... Is this leap loggable? It's not leap loggable, is it? Could we do this? That's too far. Because that would make possibly a bridge at the top, somehow. Do we do this? Do we? Does it leap log now? It does! No! Damn you, log! It totally doesn't want to leap log. Dude, stop doing that. That's just annoying. Why not? This is, this is what shouldn't happen in games like this. Make a rule and stick with it. Don't make an exception for every island. Oh no, just in case the player gets close to the solution, just make sure that rule can't be applied anymore. Evil developer face. That's just rude. Let us leap log any which way we want. Yes, bangs, head on desk, absolutely. As Monster waves at us, thinking, when's the exhibition going to conclude? Yeah, well, we're trying to get you to the ferry and then some. And we can't do basically anything. Gotcha. Breaks desk with head, absolutely. So, okay, I think this was the most promising solution so far. Knock this tree over to the right, knock this tree over to the left, go down, and then do something. We're still a little sketchy on the something. Left wasn't so well received by the audience, but right, certainly, as I said, Monster, left wasn't so well received by the audience, but this way, even to the point of doing that, might be kind of groovy. I'm even thinking if we move this guy out of the way now, can we do this somehow? Wouldn't it be nice? If only it was the other way around, then we could just walk on top there. And large log is, of course, not helping us with matters at all. Almost! But I think we're onto something here. We're onto something. Let's do it again. And again. This guy over here, this guy over there. I'm thinking this guy down, then this guy up. Not leap logging because it's disabled by the developers. Thank you, Alan. Instead we're going around. No, we're not actually. We're having this guy do that. And then... Oh, yes. And then we could do that. No, we can't. Okay, fine. Then we do this. then we do that. Is there value in this somehow? Like in a way that we can push this in somehow like that and then use large tree to... Oh no, gotcha. No then, basically. There's no value in that. But if this guy would be standing up here, then would be lying down here, would be standing up here, and we could just go and do this. So I think so. We're so close. I think we can make it. I think we can make it happen. So when did this guy move directions here, the little log? Was it when we broke its fall against that little tree here? That, I think, is when we broke its pattern. Isn't that right? There. If we don't do that, and if we instead somehow get the large log away from there, if we could just eliminate the large log now, or if we could leap log, which sadly we can't, but you know, if we could make that happen, then we could just go and have this guy just wander up to the top. But how do we get the large log out of the equation? I mean, we don't even want to see him anymore. And we can't leap log over it, which is so unfair. I'm trying to figure out a way to get the large log just out of here. Oh, I think. There's another one thing we can do. No, we can't do that. Damn you. Ah. Damn you, log. Because we could just park it here. That would work. Shall we do this instead? I see then logs in the way there. Ah. So just to satisfy my curiosity, if large log wouldn't be there, we're going lying down, standing up, lying down, standing up. This is exactly what we need. Roll the small one up first. how did we actually arrive at this point? In all honesty, I've already forgotten how to do that. How did it get to this point? Can we circumvent using the large tree at all? Is that a possibility? So we do this. Let's just remind ourselves, and then we do that, and that's the way we get this guy down and free in the first place. So, So we had to move the large log just so that we can move this guy into this exciting position here. But now that it's in that position, oh, I know. In that case, tell you what, the only reason why we did this is because we need a stopping point here, but it's not to say that we have to use the large log in this position. So, is that what you meant, Nate? We could just use this guy and push it up and then over to here, because it'll stop this log almost in the same position. It doesn't, does it? No, it doesn't! Damn you! Log, it doesn't do that. We use it to push it down as well. Damn, he reset. No, I can bring it back. I can bring it back to exactly that position. So we do this, and then we do that. And we do this so that we can roll the little guy to here so that we can actually move it. So tell me from here, Nate. Tell me from here. I think we can totally, we can come to some agreement here. Come on. What was the master plan? We can work this out. And we're not leaving until we work this out. And we're all going to have fun doing it. We're not going to get angry. That's for sure. Little one right, then down. Gotcha. Little one right, then down. Serenity now! Yes, exactly. That would be a good sound effect. Oh, I love these sound effects that they have on Twitch where you can redeem channel points. Serenity now is the next one that we need to capture for that. Very important. My other right. Oh yeah, the one that's not actually my left. I got you, Brian. I got to have a tattoo on my hands just to remind me. The right, let me just go do this again. The little one to the right, then down. Okay. My other right, stage right. So then we go maybe here, and that's all groovy because we can go and move this any which way. The only issue is that no one can now go behind the little log anymore ever. I like how he kicks the rock in disgust. He just goes, and the rock wobbles as well. Max has woken up. Hey, that's good. Glad you're still here. So that is along those lines. What else can we do to move the little tree so that it just goes away? It's like this maybe, but we have the same problem. I can't move it out of the way. This way it will just roll away forever. You need to just fish it out with your, there's something in your backpack, probably like a fishing rod or a hook or something. It can't stand on that rock. No, that's a clever idea. These rocks, technically, they would work for that, but you have to have a tree stump in front of it to make that happen. So if a tree stump would be here, I could push it over and it would land on the rock. That's true. Then there's this way. Similar problem. We can get rid of that log. We just can't ever board the little log again to make that happen. I'll go back to here, because that's basically where we need to have that little log. So the challenge is now making sure the large log goes away, doesn't come back. Incinerate the log. Put petrol over it, put a match on it, move away, wait a few minutes, thing's going to be reduced to ash. Little log's going to just roll right through it. Push it up to the stump. We shouldn't do that because it'll break its pattern. It'll work to point, and it will certainly move this guy out of the way. That's good, but we've now broken its pattern, so now it's no longer in the position in which it stands upright here, which is a shame. So unless we find a way to undo that pattern breaking thing, maybe like this. No, because dang. It is such a shame, isn't it? You're going back to work, no worries. Thank you so much for hanging sit. I really appreciate that. It's always nice to shoot the breeze over a game like this. Even if it's difficult, we're all in this together. Yes, and as a self-employed individual, you have to be very relentless about the hours in the day that you set aside away from entertainment and, making work happen. So yeah, I totally agree. I really like how Chris does it. It's very nice that you get work done on stream. So this is what I'm trying to do with my Twitch sessions as well. I'll do some more this week on Twitch, trying to do this animation for Chris. I might even have another crack at the DAZ animation. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done, but they're kind of working sessions, so it's kind of hang out and see what we can do together. Join me for that in the afternoons, if you will. I'm going to go back to our little kind of, what do we call it? The mega position, this one here. See how this works out. Come on. Nate, what have you got for me? Just before rolling the log left. You need the large log for more space on the right. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So really, I mean, this is a good position. But I think when I start afresh to where we are now, we move this guy to the right, and we do that so that we can move it with this tree down. That's the only reason why we do this. And then we're in this awkward position. At this point, we could already lose the large log, but none of us is quite clear of how to do this. So is there a way that lets us do this from here? So if I go, this is as far back as I can go. So this is kind of cool to do this. But again, we're not at a point yet where we can move our large log out of the way. Because this is as far back as the little tree goes. We need to put him into some kind of other parking position for that to happen. If I do it the other way, like if this guy were to be here, that would also be really good. It could even be as far as here, but it's, same issue there. So we need one extra space if that was the solution to facilitate it. So I'll go back to this position here. See what you got for me. See what you got for me. I'm listening. Nate, I'm listening now. The small log needs to go to the right. Got you. This is right. Got you. Like here. so that it's out of the way of the large log, I'm thinking. Large log down, under stump. Gotcha, absolutely. Damn you, YouTube delay! And now... everyone's... go back one. This way. But the thing is, Nate, if we do this, it's a good idea in principle. If we do this, the same idea that Julia had. If we do this, we can indeed move the large log down, and we can move it out of the way, and it's all awesome, but the pattern is then broken. The thing is, the small log mustn't do that, because... or it needs to do this twice. That's the other option. If we do that now, we're in the wrong pattern here. It needs to stand up here, because otherwise it don't make no bridge. No, 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 no. It's too far. Right. I will go back to here. The large log only left once. Right, so you're saying do this, is that right? Do that, then do that, left once. And then what? We're gonna work this out. I believe in you, Nate, I believe in you. I believe we can communicate this way, delay or not. I might pour myself another cup of coffee. Push the small log left a bunch. No, wait, exactly. Depends on how delayed you are. Maybe you need to refresh your feed. That could be. Oh no, I think we're so close. I think we can do this. No one can leave until this is done. If this turns into 24-hour streams, so be it. I don't mind. We're gonna solve this thing! Small log left once and then down. Gotcha. Large log left once more. Like, like here. Whoops, that was one too far. Like here. Then, of course, we're in this position that we can't move it anymore. We can get it out of the way, but this guy cannot be moved. Like, ay, caramba. Is no good. Ah, damn you, rock. We're this close to solving it. I can feel it. It could also be that we need to completely rethink our strategy. Okay, Julia is saying, how about we push the large log all the way to the right under the small log, then push the small log down, pushing the large log into the water. Then the small log should be in the right position. Oh wow. Well, are we? Let's start afresh. Let's start afresh. Is this where we're starting from? So we're going this way, and then we go this way, and then we go that way. This is essentially this is what we've decided we're going to do now. Let's see. So Julia says we push the large log all the way to the right under the small log. Then push the small log down, pushing the large log into the water. Let's see how I can apply it so that this makes sense. Large log all the way to the right under the small log. I suppose Small log right. So basically, like, you know, here. Like here, is that the right you mean? Twice, perfect. Okay, I think I've done that. That's perfect, that's perfect. Now, I'm thinking we're going to go and push the large log, I suppose, down. Small log up into the stump. Okay. Breaking the pattern, but that's cool for now. Then we're going to push the large log down, I would imagine. Right. I'm just going to wait until I get the next instruction. I'm not going to move at all. Push log, got done that already. Perfect. Reading your mind. Now push it right. Like here, like so. Not doing anything else. This was the large log, right? This is right? Yeah. Totally did it. Good. I'm glad. Now stand on the stump and push the small log down. Like so. Still waiting for the big reveal here. I'm not moving unless you tell me to. Monster's waving, that's good. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It totally doesn't work. Unless, so I still believe in this solution. I believe maybe if we find another way to break this pattern again, like the one that we did when we pushed the little log up until here. So we just need to find a way to break this pattern again, and you know, maybe somehow that's possible. I thought maybe this way, but that isn't quite the case. So perhaps it could be. Could it be this way? It's kind of the last thing we can do here for it. We could do this. Try that. Look at that. That'll work. Will it? It won't work, is it? This is now broken, but also broken beyond repair. Yeah, that's not it either. This is also in the wrong position. Yeah, maybe this island doesn't have a solution. That could be. Maybe they forgot to implement it. Or it's a different approach from the beginning. You know, like move this tree down and do something with that. I mean, that's possible. Maybe it's like completely different, that we need to do something like that. What do I know? Maybe there's a completely different solution to this and we just haven't found it. This was usually what happens when you bang your head against the wall with one solution and you can't make it work. It's because that's not the solution. It's quite the way. I had it. I doubt it. I doubt it. I doubt it. I doubt I had it. All I did was, if I start from the very beginning here, all I did was do this. And then I pushed this guy down. I doubt I had it here at any second, in any shape or form. I was one move away. I very much doubt that. I very much doubt that. So I'm not actually moving anything unless you tell me to do anything. I'll be your hands, essentially. Like, you know. This is all I did. I did nothing else. Don't reset. Go back. So you're telling me to reset. You're telling me to go back from now. I mean, I can, but, you know, you got to tell me exactly how many steps. Like 30 steps. I will do that. You know that, right? This might be an issue. By the time you say stop, I'm over it. Could be. So okay. So I'm gonna maybe instead of 30, I might go back 10 steps. How's that? Is that cool? Let's do this. Don't reset. I'm gonna go back. Okay. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is 10 steps, right? There will be the reset at one point. So we're gonna go back 10 more steps. When you push the log to the stump, oh, okay, that makes perfect sense. So I'm going to go back before the reset. There we go. From before I push the log to the stump. This is gonna be exciting. The log to the stump. I have 2 logs. I have 2 stumps. This is gonna be exciting. Go back to when the little stump was standing in front of the stump, I think. Oh wow. This maybe? Don't know. 2 resets back. I'm just gonna wait for your instructions here. This could be more steps back before that other reset. Okay, cool. So I'll go back before the other reset. So this is probably that reset now. I'll keep going back. More backness. How about here? I'm sure I reset it at that point. Little log in front of the... Okay, perfect. So we're kind of here. That's perfect. Yes! Here! Perfect! We're getting there! Can I remember what I did up to here? Kind of can. I keep hearing Manic shouting about go left. Then what? We're left now. This is left. I went left. Lock to the left, all the way. All the way. Like here. Here. Oh, here! Oh, right here! Really? See, this is what I mean. There was a different solution. We just didn't see it. Oh, my. This is going to be a long clip unless we remember how to do this. Do we? Okay, so we've done it. That is good. It only took like 45 minutes, but we did do it. Kind of proud of that. I did not see that. I totally didn't see this. And that delay certainly didn't help. I think what we need is a live phone call when this happens. Live feed and a live phone call. Like a multi feed. Do not reset. I think I will though, because I need to try to do this again. Because otherwise, how am I going to remember this? This tree's ended up over here. How did that happen? Let me go back a few steps to just examine how this happened, okay? So rather than resetting it, I'm going to go back a few steps to have a look at how this worked. How did this work? So the little tree was here. It stood in front of that stump, and it did that. We could move this out of the way. How did we do that? Because this, we know how to do that. It's a shame we can't go forward now. Because I can kind of see how we arrived at this point. I can also see how we arrived at this point. But I can't quite remember how we arrived at the next point. Or did we do this? Is that what we did? Right. In that case, I remember. In that case, I remember how to do this. Right. Okay, cool. I think then, and then we do this. Yes, then we do this. Okay, I think in that case, let's try this one more time. We've moved this tree over to here, and we were completely correct with our assumption that this tree brings this down. And we were also correct with our assumption to do that. And move this up, breaking the pattern, but we don't really mind, we don't really care. Then we're going to bring this guy down and push it almost completely out of the way to here. Then we roll this guy up against that, and then we have the solution by moving over here. You guys saw it and I totally didn't. Well done. Well spotted, well spotted. The no reset challenge. Ah, this is what Christina was always saying. She needs a red buzzer that goes off, that overrides anything that's in the chat. She needed something like a device that physically makes a noise, you know, for me, like a big red lamp that goes on. Might not be such a bad idea. What a high note. Would it be rude to stop here? Or do we have another challenge in us? I don't know. Yes, absolutely. That's absolutely right. It's such a shame I'm not allowed to multi-stream. I mean, I hear rumors that Twitch might not actually care all that much, because unless you have a quadrillion subscribers, I don't think they really mind what you do. And so it's basically a matter of, if they find out, I might have a problem. If they don't, I think no one's ever going to care. So it would be nice to see what happens if I do start multi-streaming. Does anything actually happen? Because they're not watching any of these channels. It depends if somebody reports it, and then, you know, you get into all kinds of trouble. Come on, we're going to the next exhibit, and then we're going to call it a day, because I think we have it in us. There's two islands here. There's this one, and there's that one. They would be so good. They would be so good here. Including the Serenity Now one. I'll have that ready for next time. Do you know? Yes, absolutely. Is this one of those leap logging moments? Could well be. Because now... Oh yeah, look at that. Is this something meaningful? It isn't really, is it? Damn! If only the little log would have gone in this position, that would have been awesome. Let's see if it works. So it wasn't like that. I went down. That's important, and then I get the little tree over here in a manic challenge to do that. So then, if the large log goes in here, all we need to really figure out is some way to not do that. It's some way to push this guy down and against something that currently we don't have. Yeah, alert. Yeah, that's the one. Oh, come on. Let's try this again. So this guy down. Then this guy up twice. Leap lock challenge. It's a shame that this isn't going to stop here. It would be nice if the little log would just stop. If they don't just roll over endlessly. How do we do this? Well, I suppose to a certain extent we can go here, I suppose, but then that's not enough to... It's not enough, is it? Huh. Could it be a mini raft? It could be. It could be. What do we do with the push-off point, though? Or, if not a mini raft, check it out. How about we put the large log into this slot here? That might be an option as well. That we go and say... But how? How do we do that? No, that's not an option. because I can only move it here and not up. So I can't go behind the tree and then knock it. Unless I find a way for the little tree to be up here. That might be possible. If I knock it up here, I can walk around, maybe push that tree over there. But then against what would it stop? It wouldn't get stopped at the top. So, large log goes into the water as you had it before. Then small log gets pushed up and left. Okay, up into the water like so. But up and left issue is we can't go behind it. Da, 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 da. Again, we are this close. For the final exhibition today. Before many resets. Oh, I see. Okay, well the only thing I really tried is to do this and then do the leap lock challenge to put it into the correct position. Like this. And then we do this, and then we do that and that. That is indeed the solution, Julia. Very good. Well spotted. Congrats. You're on fire today. And here's the giraffe with we saw him sticking out of the nebula there earlier. These titanium cotton blend bodysuits were designed by humans to protect tall creatures from low-flying drones. Yes, it's a problem in our society. Berkshire's emergent giraffe population deemed the garments unchic and would wriggle out of them at the earliest opportunity. Yes, those Berkshire people. One of those things. Look at that, and we've made the rounds. Hey, that is nice. That is very nice. Including all these exciting islands. Man, we had so many good solutions here. Crazy stuff. Where's the nearest mailbox to fly out of here? So then next time, I suppose we're going to go and start making our way over back into the autumn type islands. Look at what we've opened up today. That is very cool. All of this, there might even be more. There might be more wintry wonderland to explore like here. We haven't looked at this yet, so that's another option that we have next time. Wow, thank you so much for all your help. And there's at least three pieces of where the little feet are. This is very, very cool. Let's just have a look at how many islands we have now. Look at that, 338, so that's almost 50%. 96 exhibits, so that's about, I'd say, 65-70% of all the exhibits, and 1 out of over 50 snowmen. So, whoa, that's quite a lot more snowmen to find. My friends, thank you so much for dropping by and hanging out with me. It was a pleasure and a privilege to do this with you. I'm already looking forward to next Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Or if I get really craving for this game, we can always pick it up on Twitch. There's a couple of other things that I've planned for Twitch for this week in the afternoon, starting around 5 p.m. 5 p.m. because Brian's at work until 4, so 4:35 is the earliest he can make it. I'll see how I get on. There's a few animation things I want to build, and of course this game to be picked up. My friends, have a wonderful rest of Sunday, and I will see you very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
you.